Welcome to the Porcupine Mountains, a colossal state park with over 90 trails weaving through the wilderness. In this video, we've curated the absolute best experiences the park has to offer, from enchanting waterfalls to trails steeped in history to the best hikes and awe-inspiring views. Join us in exploring the wonders of the Porkies. Let's dive in.
Hey, welcome back to LoveNesters. We are in the Porcupine Mountains State Park in the UP of Michigan. This is the largest tract of virgin hardwood forest in all of North America right here.
This park is huge. It's over 60,000 acres, actually covers 2 different time zones. We're going to show you the best things to see if you only have one day to spend at the Porkies. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here. So this is an easy trail. We are here. What we're gonna do is go up the river, hit all of these falls: Menindee Falls, Delgado Falls, and Mandaba Falls.
I'm sure you said all of those right.
Yeah, I looked it up. So we're gonna take you on this adventure, and then we're gonna come back on the east side. And the east side's actually a little bit more difficult side of the river to go down, and then we're going to come across and actually go right to Lake Superior.
Should be fun.
If we don't get lost.
All right, so we are walking up the side of the river, so we're going upriver on this track. This side of the river is more developed. You're going to see more boardwalks, more paved trails, but it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. They call those riverbed potholes. Kind of cool how the water swirls in there. All right, we made it to Manabezo Falls. It is named after a powerful Ojibwe spirit god. This is the top of the falls. One of the great things about this trail is you really get up close and all around falls. So these are Menindee Falls. In the native language of the Ojibwe, that means spirit or ghost. You can see the mist coming up just like a ghost.
This is one of those hidden gems. Every time we've been here, there's so few people here, and it's just beautiful. But here comes the money shot.
So there are times where it really doesn't feel like you are on a trail, but they've done a great job of marking it with these blue signposts. This is Nawadama Falls.
You made it. And then you walk across the bridge to get to the eastern shore of the Presque Isle River.
Be sure and take in the beautiful views upriver and downriver as you cross the road.
Now the east trail is a little bit more rugged. It's spectacular. Recommend you doing the loop.
This is another cool part of this walk. There is this suspension bridge, which does bounce up and down if you have crazy people in your party. And there's Lake Superior. The river goes right out to Lake Superior. The end of this trail, if you want, you can end up at the beach. We just got done with the Presque Isle Waterfall Loop here in the Porkies. It's a 2.3-mile loop.
23 miles?
2.3.
2 points.
And you see 3 waterfalls from both sides of the river.
The river is spectacular. You're gonna go through a lot of battery on this because it is really fantastic.
You'll take a lot of pictures.
One of our absolute favorite places.
Yeah, this is the 3rd time we've done it, but just be aware, it is a treacherous trail. It is not accessible if you have mobility issues. No flip-flops.
Good hiking. Yeah, the east side is much more difficult than the west.
Yeah, so just bear that in mind. You can also extend the trail a little bit longer than we did and head all the way down to Lake Superior, but we chose not to do that because we're hungry. So we have some pasties. We picked up pasties in Wakefield.
Randall's Bakery in Wakefield, Wisconsin.
It doesn't matter. When you go in there, that place is packed. This time we're trying 2 different pasties. We're going to try a breakfast pasty and a traditional pasty. So we've talked about pasties in other videos. This is something that was popular with the miners, and we're in miner country, so that's why we keep eating them.
Okay.
All right.
Here's our first attempt at a breakfast pasty.
Cheers.
Canadian bacon. What is that?
Eggs, Canadian bacon, potatoes. That's really good. Part of what makes a pasty so fantastic is the crust. So it probably doesn't matter what you stick in the crust, it's going to taste really good.
Now here is the traditional pasty from Randall's Bakery. We devoured the breakfast steak.
That was really good.
That was the best breakfast pasty I've ever had. Do you want the bigger part?
Yeah. Some people like to have these with gravy. I prefer ketchup, but when they're this good, you really don't eat anything.
If you're in the UP, you have to have pasties. You get addicted to these.
Okay, this is good, but the breakfast I preferred. I've never had that before, and I really like the breakfast pasty. So we are now hiking to the highest point in the Porkies. This is the Summit Peak Trail.
It's the highest point in the Porcupine Mountains State Park.
Half a mile in from the parking lot, and then another 50-foot climb up the tower. Okay, more stairs. Story of her life. All right, so we are going to do a 3/4 of a mile hike. This is the Nonesuch mine. There should be a waterfall along here, but we're also looking for some ruins. One of the reasons we recommend this trail is it gives you a sense of really being alone in the woods. About a half a mile into the walk, you will come across the ruins.
Here is the abandoned buildings of the Nonesuch mine. It's kind of a hard trail to actually find. There's not any signage, but it's really interesting. There was a whole community that lived back here, and now it's all abandoned.
These are some of the ruins from the Nonesuch mine. At one time there were like 300 people living in this area, but now all you can see are these stone ruins. The Nonesuch mine got its name because the type of copper that came out of here was none such had been seen anywhere else. Wow, the more you walk around, the more of these old buildings you find, and the forest is just growing on top of them. It's just taking over.
This is actually the entrance of the old Nonesuch mine.
Hey, this is a abandoned mine in a community. This is such a great place to see at Porcupine Mountain State Park.
This place is awesome, and it's a little tricky to find, so you don't see a lot of people here. You're really remote, you get the beautiful waterfalls, lovely hike, and best of all, you get to explore some history. If you're enjoying our videos, we'd sure appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really helps other people to find the videos. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
There's another huge building that goes way back here. And then look at these. Look at these in the ground. Wow. All right, so we are at the Union Mine Interpretive Trail. This is a 1-mile loop at the Porkies, and the reason we're going to recommend this trail is it's going to give us a history lesson as we do the trail. We'll see some ruins and we'll have it explained. It's going to be a little different than the Nonesuch mine, which is a little more primitive. Figure it out as you're there. Thanks for being here. Union Mine opened in 1846, but was abandoned as unprofitable the following year.
Absolutely beautiful. Speaking of beautiful. Oh.
Once again, you sometimes think you're not on a trail, but just look for the blue markers.
So this notch in the riverbed was carved for the water wheel that was used to power the mine.
So that's the number 2 shaft for the mine that was here.
Although the Union Mine produced masses of copper weighing over 50 pounds, it was unprofitable and closed in 1848.
So the Union Mine Trail is not listed as one with a waterfall, but it does go along a beautiful river that has some lovely rapids. So at this point, the trail is going to be crossing the first road in the Porcupine Mountains. It was actually known as the Nonesuch Road. Until the 1930s, it was the only way to get a wagon or automobile into this part of the mountains. But the road was so full of rocks and chuck holes that travelers were advised to lash themselves to their rig to avoid being pitched out. Fun fact, I used to do the balance beam.
It shows, my goodness.
So we read so much about this being a virgin forest, one of the last remaining. This is one of the types of trees that this state park was put in to protect. This is a hemlock. So this is a mine shaft from the 1800s.
Imagine taking a rope and going down and working a 12-hour day. The Union Trail, you do cross the road twice. Not thrice, twice.
The Union Mine Trail in the Porcupine Mountain State Park in Michigan. We recommend it. It took 1 hour.
It's
supposedly is a mile loop. I'm gonna have to check my numbers on that, or we were incredibly pokey today. But it's a wonderful trail. Not only is it scenically beautiful, but it's also informative, and I don't think we would have taken the time to read all the information had we been in a museum. We're kind of low attention span, but on the trail it was really nice and really informative, and we learned a lot.
We learned so much. 1847, they tried to make a mine here. I think that was the date.
I don't know if your date's right, but we learned a lot, but we didn't retain a thing. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
The Visitor Center is located at the east entrance of the park and is one of 2 places to buy your visitor's pass or check in for your campsite. It is the only place to see a free movie about the park and get up close to some of the animals you may encounter in the woods. While visiting the Porkies, be sure and take time to admire Lake Superior. There are many pull-offs along the main road, traveling from the main entrance to Lake of the Clouds. So this is also a great place to look for agates, and we are going to be back here tonight looking for euperlites. Alright, so it's a short walk from the parking lot up to Lake of the Clouds. There is a ramp if that's easier for you. We're going to just go straight up so we can get in and out pretty quickly. Okay, LoveNester tip, don't just stop at the overlook that's straight out from the parking lot. Head off to your right. The views are even more spectacular and nobody comes down here.
Hey, we are at Lake of the Clouds in the Porcupine Mountains State Park in Michigan. This is an absolute must. We've been here several times, and every time we come here, it is just incredible.
It is just magnificent. You are on top of a mountain with this incredible mountain lake, and on the other side of the mountain is Lake Superior. Absolutely worth coming to see.
And there's no one here.
It can be very busy. We lucked out.
It's incredible. Thanks for being here.
Here at Lake of the Clouds is also where you can pick up the escarpment trail. This is the escarpment trail. Some say this is one of the prettiest trails walking along the rim of Lake of the Clouds. It is about 4 miles there, but then you have to walk 4 miles back or have a pickup car.
So if you're gonna do the escarpment trail, our suggestion, and the locals will tell you, drive all the way up to Lake of the Clouds, park right there, and you actually walk along and you pick up your car here. So if you're gonna have 2 cars, drop a car off here, drive up here.
If you're only going to do one trail in the park and you have the time to do it, the escarpment trail goes along the ridge and you get these little views of Lake of the Clouds, and it is spectacular.
We're trying to squeeze in a lot in a day to show you this amazing state park, but I'd love to be here for a week. hilly and rocky, so wear some good hiking boots. Take your time, bring some water, and you're going to be just fine. She started out as a happy hiker. Right now, she's not a very happy hiker. Look,
Lots of water.
are you happy?
I'm happy we're almost done.
No.
The Porkies Outpost is a great place for pizza, quirky photo ops, souvenirs, and a few hiking necessities. It is also a place to purchase a black light, which is what we need for our evening adventure.
All right, so we're trying something interesting, guys. We're coming out at night to look for something called Yooper lights. They're found in Michigan on the shores of Lake Superior. You need to have a UV light or a black light, and we have two, and they're supposed to pick up a certain kind of mineral in the rock. When you find a Yooper light, it will glow back orange. And you know, well, it doesn't look like we're gonna find anything. It sure is peaceful out here.
And we bumped into, what's your name, sir?
Terence Le Cornec,
And where are you from?
at your service.
And obviously, I can tell by your accent you're from the UP.
Yes, that's right. I'm from Manistic.
The beauty is
It leaves you speechless.
In my own defense, I'm not always the last one. I am filming things. I'm not the slowpoke.
don't be so sensitive. Why so sensitive?